And welcome back to another video. This is Corey with TCG Equity, and today we're going to be going through the market watch for eBay and TCG Player for Dragon Ball Fusion World. We're also going to be talking about the special booster, or what we officially know now is called the Story Booster 01 here at the end of the video. We're also going to be talking about FB10 and FB11 here in a little bit. But before all that, I do want to announce that the Patreon is up and running, and inside the Patreon is going to be extra plays of the day and the paid version of the Discord with extra content. Also, there is a free version of the Discord now, so if you're interested in that, please look at the link in the description below. And let's get to today's market watch. So before the market watch, let's talk about this sale real quick. This is a black label yellow Goku that I see here on eBay. Sold 2 days ago at 9:45 a.m. And this one, when I checked 130 point, it was like 5,000, something like that. Just imagine around 5K. I don't know how real this one is. Because the fact that it's using this 367295 serial number black label, when actually the real one 367295 is actually on golden auctions right now at 8,500. So I don't know if this is some kind of like targeted conspiracy play to pull down the price of that yellow Goku, but this is not the real version, right? Like I think there's only one black label right now for sale. There's only one black label in existence for yellow Goku, so I don't know how this one is a real sale at all, unless someone could please clarify if there's a second one. I haven't checked Beckett's population report, so please, if someone wants to check and just let me know. I don't think this is a real sale, even though it has authenticity guarantee and whatnot. I think this is a fake sale because the real one is right here at 8,500, and there's still 6 days left. I mean, we're projecting this thing to be tens of thousands of dollars, right? This is a pop one, and if this is a pop one, that means that another one can't sell on eBay. So just make sure that you're not looking at this and being like, oh, this is only 5K for a black label. I mean, that's insane. $6,000 is under what PSA 10 and BGSs were selling for. So this is already conspiratorial as it is, and this is not real. So if you see this, please just remember this is not a real sale. All right, let's get to today's market watch and just see what's been going on in the market here. And first things first is going to be Sleepy Goku. And if you look at the population report, already at 99, and this one sold for the full $2,000, which is correct because of the artwork, right? Look at how beautiful this is. Everyone loves this card, and I feel really bad for not having it, but you can't always make the right decisions, right? If I made the right decisions every single time, I'd probably be a billionaire right now, but whatever. Very good. $2,000 is probably going to be the new floor because we've seen multiple sales now. 17, 1,800, $2,000 is probably the floor for this card. And if we go to TCG Player real quick, I think I saw something that was kind of funny, that when you go to TCG Player and you go shop singles high to low, the 1 star is now is higher value than these 2 star. Look at this market price. I mean, obviously this one's selling on eBay. This one is on eBay for a lot more than this, right there. When you look at the market price, this is not really the reflection of reality. eBay is, but it's just funny that this is just flipped on TCG Player, which is all. But technically, I think Sleepy Goku has been selling more. $2,000 here, and the latest sale here is like 23, so it caught up like really fast, which shouldn't be the case because this 2 star is supposed to be much more rare, right? So this is just something funny I wanted to point out real quick. So let's go back to the market watch here, and we have another pointy Bulma selling for 790s, $800, about right. This is what we've been expecting. So if you want to jump in, this looks like the price for you. And I do suggest that maybe you want to take a look at these energy markers a little bit more. If you're looking at Fusion World, please look at the energy markers. I think that these are such a sleeper, especially the manga art ones like this. It's going to be very difficult in the future to get your hands on one of these at under $1,000. So just remember that when you're allocating money into seal product into Dragon Ball Fusion World, that you probably want to try to get a couple energy markers as you can. I'm not telling you to go out and buy an E42. I'm not telling you to go out and buy the thank you energy marker. Just any energy marker that you can get, the gold ones from the manga, just try to get your hands on a couple. This one is the Bulma. This is the Gunner Bulma, right? And you can kind of tell why it's the Gunner Bulma, but looking at right here, only 43 pop. Just don't get tricked by this, right? Low pop. Just don't get tricked by this, because this card is supposed to be, while it is a nicer card from FB07, one of the chase cards, this is not like a grail I mean, I guess if you're a gooner, it's a grail for you. But this is not really a grail card, right? This is kind of like a mid tier ish card. And a lot of these cards got sent to PSA Beckett, but they got sent through the value tier or the tier that takes 3 months. So just remember, if Dragon Ball Fusion World blew up in the end of January. It's only been about 45 days, right? 40 something, whatever days. Uh, and a lot of these are sitting in people's binders or sitting in boxes. A lot of these mid tier cards, and they're getting submitted to PSA Beckett through the value tier, which takes 3 months. This is going to be set to explode probably by, give it another month and a half, 2 months. People to get their cards back, people to sit on it, people to wonder if they want to sell it immediately. PSA selling in a couple. So just remember that this is guaranteed supposed to go up. And if we look at the like serialized cards like this, right? This is more than likely not going to go up by much, right? Because you have to remember that a lot of these cards right here, they've already been graded or they're getting graded through priority tier. So what I'm trying to say is like maybe yes, of course everything's going to go up. Maybe they'll tick up here and there, but the dramatic difference, this is what you have to understand, is that these cards, these grail cards, people are going to grade it through the tiers that are like 30-day turnaround time or like 1 week turnaround time. So this is more accurate and reflective right now. This is closer to reality. Whereas like mid cards like this at 43, like don't get tricked by this low pop because these are going to come back pretty soon here in about 2-3 months. And when they do, 710, is it really going to be 710? We might see this push down back to like $400 because there's just so many on eBay for sale, and there's just limitless options, right? Now, moving on to that serial card that we just talked about, this is actually kind of high, $2,000, because this is a Japanese one too, and it's not really that nice of a number. It's 885, so you're getting a random number and Japanese selling for almost $2,000, which is quite a lot. But this to me screams that these serial cards, there's like a real floor even for Japanese. The serial number portion of this really carries this whole price, right? Because even in Japanese is nicking that $2,000. And there was another sale here. Where is it? Right here. So when we look at this serialized card, look, an English 107 sold for $300 more. Look at this, right? 1825 for 885 PSA 10 Japanese. A English one sold for 2100, 107 BGS 10. So technically, better grade if we want to go down that route with BGS being more articulate with their grading, right? More strict, more whatever. And the number 107, so significantly better number with a better grade, and you're getting English, and it's only $300 more. That is such a good deal. So whoever bought this, I think this probably this I don't think this is an overpay though. To be fair, I think this is a little bit more towards fair market value. And this is a very good deal. Like this should have easily cleared over 3,000 USD easily. But whoever got it, maybe it ended at a weird time. Maybe serialized cards just aren't. They're not in the limelight right now, so you're kind of liquidating at a time that's not the best. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're still you're cashing out, right? But you're not cashing out at the most optimal time, which is fine for a lot of people, which is okay. But this one easily could have been over 3K easily because this is a nice number, right? 107 and in English BGS 10. Moving on to the Broly. This one is the 1-star Broly from Rivals Clash. This is very nice. Right next to the best Broly, right? This comes to maybe third. So it's the best Broly, the chase card in FB06. And then there's the Broly from the, I think, FB10. Is that the Giblet starter deck? And then this might be third best Broly. But still, very good card. Selling for $500, $505. And this is about, actually, this might be a little bit low because there are some single star cards that are selling for more than 500, right? If you want to include Sleepy Goku in that tier, which I don't think we will. Sleepy Goku is more so, it should just say super alternative art for Sleepy Goku. But this one should be more. This one should easily nick $1,000 here pretty soon. This is a very nice card. But I do assume that we're going to see more PSAs right here. So just be careful when you're buying in right now, because in another month and a half or so, a lot of these mid-grade cards are going to come back from PSA, and it's going to flood the market. So if you want stuff like this and you really want in, I mean, I guess that's fine. But just remember, when those come back, there's going to be a whole market flood, and people kind of desperate to sell and get their money back, right? Because they want to pre-order, I don't know, FB12, FB13, ST02, whatever comes out, right? So just remember, just because these are a pretty good price, in my opinion, right now, that doesn't mean that you might not be able to get a better price in the future. And moving on to the God Rare from FBO1. This one only sold for 920, which is a pretty good deal. If you're a collector, this is easily justifiable. You're getting the God Rare from FBO1. Yes, it's in Japanese, but it's PSA 10 and the text is already minimal, so whatever. Still looks good. Yes, population is 1,000, but then again, for a lot of the Japanese cards at this price point, a lot of people aren't even looking to invest or flip or even speculate, actually. A lot of people just kind of want to jump in and feel confident that their money is going to be secured because, well, Dragon Ball as a whole is going up and building more confidence because, as you guys already all know, Galactic Patrol arc, manga is more than likely going to continue. The Xenoverse 3 or the Age 1000 is more than likely Xenoverse 3. So a lot of bullish signals, right? A lot of bullish signals, but that bullish signal doesn't always translate to investors coming in. Sometimes those bullish signals just give an average person the confidence to be able to say, you know what, I love this artwork. I don't really care about English or whatnot. I just want this on my shelf. I want this in display, so I'll pay 920. Very nice card, very nice pickup. And here we have some promo card action here. The event prize card for the FB, the 006. This one's selling for $610, which is about right. We've been seeing around 700-800 max, so this is a little bit of a correction on the price. 32 bids ended yesterday evening. And when we look at the next one, it's the same thing, but this is the double. So you're getting Goku and Vegeta for the event prize cards. So it's around the same thing, $600-700 each, which is very good. The promo cards are always going to be very, very, I guess the safest you could say, right? Because there's only so many of them. This is very limited, but very good pickup if you like the artwork. So this black label only sold for $2,500. This is a little bit weird to me because I think this card's undervalued. I think a black label of any ultra old art, or sorry, any black label of any super old art should never go for $2,500. This is BGS 10. This is PSA 10. So this card is lagging behind, I guess, in public value, but I think the artwork is very nice. I think it's very wholesome, and eventually the market is going to catch up. So whoever bought this for $2,500 got a very good deal out of it a couple days ago. PSA 10, or no, sorry, black label, and this artwork. I think this easily clears $5,000 in the future. So this is a pretty. If you like this artwork, you're in a very good position. So not only are you get to enjoy this with black label, but you're more than likely going to see probably $4,000 to $5,000 here pretty soon when we see the next run up. Man, this thing is getting more and more concerning as the time goes on. So here we go. We're seeing $3,400 sales for FB09, the pre-orders, and here's another one. We're seeing $3,500 sales for FB09. And when we look at TCG Player, it's down to 3,200, which is, I guess, a little bit better. But, you know, people are buying in. So 36, 37, 37, and we had two yesterday for 3,200. Okay, so here's the problem of why this is scary right here, this $3,400. So as of right now, everyone and anyone inside the TCG world knows that right now, Dragon Ball Fusion World has a very high momentum, right? We have high momentum, but in my opinion, we're still like at the kind of early stages right here because general public is starting to feel like it's okay to park money. So for the average person that's a Dragon Ball fan but just didn't have the confidence to park money, now that confidence is building. Now there's momentum. But the issue is that the general public is now not going to be able to get their hands on stuff because pre-orders are fucking $3,500. So this is a killer. This is an absolute killer for Dragon Ball Fusion World when the new hyped Gogeta set is unattainable for a lot of people, even including myself. Like, I don't think these prices, I can't justify these prices for English. I have a couple Japanese ones coming, but that's because I got them at MSRP prices. But English, I don't see this as being a good buy because remember, this is a FB line, which is more than likely going to get reprinted because remember this momentum. So this momentum right here for Dragon Ball Fusion World as a whole is pretty public and everyone knows this and everyone agrees with this. That means that this is more than likely going to get reprinted. So just remember that this $3,500 might be a little scary for you and it just does not justify investment purposes whatsoever. Okay. But the scary thing is the general public portion is that a lot of people are now getting confident to be able to park money in here. And it's getting a little scary when the average person can't get their hands on this product and they can't rip, They can't grade, they can't make content, they can't do anything because, well, $3,500. How much is a box? Like 300 something dollars for just one box. It's getting a little concerning for Dragon Ball Fusion World as a whole with these new sets. So just keep that in mind. That, hey, look, maybe it's not a good idea to buy this for FB09 because there's no good trajectory of this having equity. So like, okay, let's say you buy this for 3,500 with shipping and tax, whatever. What are the chances that you're going to be able to get a 5K? What are the chances you get 5K out of it? I think very low, right? I think very low that someone's going to give you $5,000 for this case, especially knowing the fact that it's a main line with a lot of momentum going up. That means that Bandai is probably going to reprint this, just like they did with some One Piece stuff, right? So they already reprinted One Piece stuff, so why wouldn't they reprint Dragon Ball Fusion World stuff? It's literally the same thing. If there's a lot of demand for it, and boxes are already 35, almost $4,000, I think, for a case pretty soon here. If people keep buying in, then Bandai is going to reprint, leading this to be a not a good buy at all, with very low upswing potential for like 5K. I mean, like this 400, like, just forget about a double. Just be happy if you can sell it for what, $4,500, right? If you can. This is like super scalperish though, which this scalper play I don't think would work out. I really don't think it would work out. If it does, I could be wrong. Good for you. But this $3,400 to potentially get over 4K is a little scary, and I would not do it. I would look into other opportunities, right? And there is more opportunity. And if we look, the opportunity is going to be within the other pre-orders for ST01, for FB11. Okay, so moving on. All right, talking about FB10 a little bit. So this $300 might be a little bit more stable. I still wouldn't suggest buying in, but when we look at Dragon Ball's official website, the cover art has now come out, and it looks pretty sick, I have to admit. I did get one case. I only got one case, and I got it above MSRP, but I got it for a very good deal compared to what they're asking for here on TCG Player. And it's going to be very hard to see that this price get pulled down, because the average person is going to see something like this, right? Like, oh man, that is sick, right? And it might FOMO them in to buying it. And thank God we still have that one dude that bought in, like, what, 20 days ago. I'm not sure if he got a refund, but he should have. But now that he saw that it's art, he might just be like, fuck it, I'll just let it go, man. So just be very careful with pre-orders with just the cover art, because you're buying in at these prices, okay? So what I'm saying is that now that the artwork comes out and it looks good, this price, we might not see a sharp tank here for a little bit, depending on what happens, right? We might see a shop come in at 275, 250, but it's still quite a ways away, and maybe the shops don't even care so much as to take in pre-orders at that price. So, and then FB11, if you can find pre-orders, I would pre-order both FB10 and FB11 if you can get them at a good price. If you're talking about this price right here, I would stay away from them. So that is my thoughts for FB10 and FB11. So let's check out TCG Player a little bit, and let's see what's been going on. So the thing that stands out to me a lot is the this price right here, the Manga Booster 01. Someone did buy in at $8,000 about a week ago, so this is very good. So there's a slow, steady climb again for the set. Anybody buying in at $7,000, you now have a small equity inside of your case, so this is very good for the market, because this B01 is going to be one of the main sets that holds down Fusion World as a whole. And the other thing that stands out to me was the Piccolo. So someone did buy in that $1,400. So for everyone that's been watching, the $1,400 Piccolo was sitting on the market for quite a while, but there was a black label right here. This black label sold for only $4,400, which is very underpriced. This is very underpriced. This thing should be at least 5 figures, but I don't think this artwork and the ultra and everything has caught up to public yet, right? The fact that this is an ultra alt art, and then this is the artwork from Akira Toriyama, and it's supposed to be ultra. I think this is a very good deal. I can see this card being at 5 figures one day. I was very tempted to put like 4,800. I was very close to it. I typed it in onto my phone, but then again, I backed out. I just can't justify $5,000 with so many of my pre-orders right now. But then again, I also have a BGS 10 already, so I don't really want to be so greedy and also really need a black label. But for whoever got this, you got a very good deal, because raw cards are now selling for $1,400, $1,500. We're seeing in that range, right? And when we see these raw cards selling for this much, that means that the PSA 10 BGS 10s are going to go up, which means that this guy, whoever bought this, already has equity. So this is probably guaranteed to sell for what, 6 to 8 thousand if he relists. Which is very good, but more than likely, I would tell him to hold on to it because even for a small, slight gain of what 50% overnight, basically for him, I would not sell. I would tell him to be more greedy because this card has so much potential value, and the public just hasn't caught on to it yet about what it truly is and what it's truly worth and the charming artwork that it has. So, very nice card, very good play for that guy for the Black Label. And if we keep looking, Sleepy Goku keeps selling all the time, and now we're hovering in that $700 to $800 mark. Did we see a $900 sale? Oh, we did. Wow. So we saw a $900 sale about a week ago, and we're seeing 875, 874, 850. But we're gonna see this kind of go sideways probably for this, because I think a lot of people that wanted this card or needed this card has already probably gotten in. So we might see a floor and sideways trading, which is very good because this card just like spiked way too much, way too fast. Which is good if you hold this card. You know, very good for you if you're able to profit. For collectors, I would try to hold on because look, remember I told you there's a lot of these cards out there. There's a lot. Remember, you have to always remember that this is just a single star, okay? So if you want to FOMO in, if you just need the artwork, just remember the one fact that holds this card back is that this is not a super altar. This is just a 1 star. So please be very careful and just hold the FOMO feelings a little bit. I understand it's beautiful artwork, but if you just stick to fundamentals, you stick to facts, it could really even out your emotions so you don't press like add to cart and just buy it, right? And you got to remember a lot of these cards, like you just don't know if it's going to grade a 10. If that matters to you, which it should, So even though it says near mint, this doesn't guarantee you getting a PSA 10, BGS 10. You could get 9, 9.5. I mean, 8s. I mean, I've seen things that sell near mint and grade 7s. So just be very careful. Like you might be buying raw cards for less than $1,000, but there's no guarantee that this stuff will get you a 10 if that's what you're looking for. And we have the pop-up shop energy markers, right? I'm pretty sure that's what these are. A lot of people are asking about these, so I would be very careful with these pop-up shop energy markers. I think that there's a lot more supply than people know, and I think too many people are jumping the gun here with buying these. There's going to be a lot of supply. Those pop-up shops, if you're following what's going on in the Dragon Ball scenes, there are so many, like, I guess, scalpers at those pop-up shops. I would be very careful into buying this. What I would do is I would make those scalpers hold on to their stuff. Like, oh yeah, this is nice artwork, but who gives a shit, right? See, that's the thing about having an investor mindset, having a like speculator mindset, is that when you add in being a collector, but you add in the mindset of a speculator investor, it holds you back from that add to cart buy. You understand? It gives you more independence as a person to not just look at the artwork and then buy $500 and cash out a scalper. You're able to go, you know what? There's probably some supply on here. Like, yeah, okay, there might not be a lot of listings, but for a lot of the pop-up shop energy markers, a lot of people are just sitting on holding onto this stuff, and they're like trying to slowly liquidate for like a couple $100 a piece, right? Without it even being graded. So just be very careful. If it was up to me, what I would do is I would just make them sit on it, and I would just not even look at this stuff. Just find opportunity somewhere else. So when you're an opportunist, it also makes it so you don't cash out other people. Look, actually, there's a $10,000 listing that came up. Wow. So we go from 6767 to like there was like a 599 to a $10,000 listing. I still don't think this would sell because I think the highest we've seen was 6600 for a BGS 10. So this is still too much for the time being. But who knows? Who knows? When we go to eBay stuff, right? $25,000 for asking price, which is way too much according to what's recent sale. But do you know what I really think? I really do think that there's a day where something like this does happen. I really do. I really do think that $25,000 sales for the main energy marker of Dragon Ball as a whole, right? This is what this is. When I look at this and I see that it comes out of SB01 and it's the original artwork from Akira Toriyama from Volume 1, The Birth of Dragon Ball, this is the main energy marker. And I don't care what anyone has to say about their opinions of different energy markers and different artwork. When you look at it from the facts of this is Akira Toriyama's original artwork from Volume 1, it coming out of SBO1, the gold marker, this is the main marker. So for this to be asking 25,000, yes, in this current time, it's going to be too much, yes. But when you look at the PSA pops, only 39. When you look at Beckett, what, double? We can just say there's 80 total. And I don't think I saw a black label here yet. But easily this card can go 25,000 in the future. So we have yet to see a 5-figure sale for this card, and I think we will in the future. So let's move on to some of the pre-order stuff that we were going to talk about today, which is going to be Story Booster 01. So this one just came out. The announcement for Story Booster 01 on the official Dragon Ball website, coming out in summer 2026. And as you already can all tell, ST01, I predicted that it was going to say SP, right? I thought it was going to be SP01, but ST01, I guess, is close enough because it's Story Booster. Because the main idea behind this Story Booster is going to be right here on GTS's website. It is recreating that scene from the anime. A new special booster is currently under development. Okay, and here was the release date. August 7th, 2026. So I do have a couple cases coming. I hope to God that my pre-orders don't get canceled, because I have a feeling that this set's going to be very good, right? Can I tell you that it's going to be better than ST0 or SB01? No. Can I tell you it's going to be better than A Wish for Shenron? No. But from the fact that it says Special Booster 01 and the fact that it says ST01 right here, we can kind of imagine that it gets close to the mangas, right? We can kind of imagine that. And if it gets close to the mangas, that means that pre-order prices are going to get insane, right? So what I would do here, what I would do for this is I would be very careful, okay? So if you wait too long to pre-order something like this, you might miss out, because remember, this is not a main set, right? So if pre-orders come and you think that they're going to reprint, I would be very, very skeptical of reprints for something like this. It can still happen, okay? Because it happens. So Bandai does reprint stuff in One Piece, like the EB, the extra boosters. They did announce reprints for EBO3. EBO3. So the announcements of reprints, check this out, okay? Now, we have to take in consideration that Bandai owns and prints both, right? So look, the pre-orders for this EBO3, for everyone that doesn't know, EBO3 is just like a special booster. Just imagine this to say like special booster, whatever. Similar to this right here, Story Booster. When it came out, it was at $3,000 and it spiked all the way to $6,500. And guess what? They announced reprints for even the extra boosters, and the price tanked because there's going to be more on the market here pretty soon. But as you can see, people are still buying. Look, 4,200, 4,400. People are still buying the set, even though there's reprints coming, because that's just how much demand there is in One Piece. So you just got to be very careful. If you're going to pre-order this, like let's say you pre-order here at $3,000, when you pre-order this and you're kind of an investor type, maybe there might be a world where you pre-order it and then you also sell it in the future, like right away, because this is exactly what happened here in the EBO3 will more than likely happen here for Story Booster if reprints come out. If reprints don't come out, well, you still sold at a profit. But I'm up in the air what I'm going to do. Hopefully I still get my my pre-orders that I put in. And I would highly suggest that you heavily consider pre-ordering it, even if it's at these prices, because, I would consider this like an extra booster. Same thing, right? SB01, SB02, it's in that same line. So once pre-orders come out, just be very on it. Just be on it, and I would pre-order. Because I already did, but my pre-order prices were insane. I got MSRP prices. And for everyone wondering where I pre-ordered, that stuff is only behind the Patreon. So if you're interested, please look at the link in the description below for the Patreon. And I do drop the links of some of the stuff of where I get them. So, all right. I think that clarifies today. I think that wraps up today for Market Watch. This is Corey with TCG Equity. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.